Barabo ako mo yubara lahiki. Omo de koni koi barabo ako mo yubara elegwa e chulona.
The actual adherence of our people to homophobic ideas isn't that deep. There's lots of our folks who parrot these ideas because that's what they've been told. But when you really challenge it, people are willing to shift their ideas. When we live fulfilled lives, when we live purposefully, when we live powerfully, I think our folks are ready for that transformation. It took me years to get to the point where when that moment of possibility opened, I had the language, I had the courage, I had the faith to push through. It took being in loving relationships with other black men and seeing the power of that. Spiritually, socially, culturally, I was created to love other black men. When I don't do that, my life does not go well. You know, like everything in me, my spirit, my soul, like is drawn to other black men, even when I fight it. You know, I meet other black folks who talk about going through these processes of struggling with the images of like whiteness as being beautiful, which I just never did, because you know my images of like what men and women were supposed to do, I feel like are epitomized by those posters that you see at black arts festivals, where like, you know, there's like the black warrior who's holding on to his staff, and then there's the woman who's like holding on to his leg or whatever. And so it was always these images of black people. My great grandmother had this huge tapestry of black Jesus, you know. She also had a huge tapestry of white Jesus. There weren't gaggles of gays hanging out in the dorms where I lived, you know, like there was no crew of mean girls living down the hall from me. I had to develop and create my identity kind of in a vacuum. When I engage with men, there's a very palpable feeling for me of what their comfort with the intensity of my intimacy is. And I modulate how intense it is based on the feedback that I get from them. I don't remember super early on it in a sexual way at all. I do remember really clearly having this pull towards men that I knew I wasn't supposed to have, but it wasn't sexual in the beginning. I know I'm different in some kind of way, and I know that what I want to do and what I'm feeling is different than what I've been taught I'm supposed to express. And so I feel like from a really, really early time, physically I became very tense. I think that's also when I became like a mostly like in my head living person. Dance opened this door to be expressive, you know, and not just articulate, you know, expressing myself with words, but being able to express myself with my whole body. And it was this fun thing because it was African, right? Folks in the community wouldn't criticize anything about it, because if it's African, it's good, right? And so I could do both the male parts and the female parts, you know? And people were excited about it because then I could teach other kids, and no one questioned, oh, should he be doing the female dance parts? And they wouldn't let me do them during a performance, you know? But at practice, which is the majority of time, right? I would get to do whatever and really like be in my body. Pretty much everybody had to not want to ask if I was queer, because, you know, like I was the only consistently male dancer. Those kinds of things, that physical experience of just like sheer joy, I feel like is a bedrock for me in terms of understanding what freedom feels like, and how accessible it is, you know?